She's been dropping hints for 3 months straight, and you're still here wondering if she's into you or just being friendly. Here's what's actually happening. You're missing every signal she's sending, not because you're clueless, but because nobody taught you the language. You can decode a text message, catch subtle sarcasm, read workplace politics. But when a woman communicates romantic interest, you're flying blind. While you're overanalyzing her punctuation, she's getting exhausted. Your friends have noticed. Her friends definitely noticed. Everyone except you. She's not going to send you a formal declaration or make the first move explicit. She's already making moves. You're just not catching them. And the window? It's closing. The longer you wait, the more likely she assumes you're not interested and moves on. Or worse, someone else who speaks the language comes along and takes the opportunity you've been sitting on. So let me break down exactly what you're missing before this completely disappears. I'm walking you through 10 specific speech patterns that signal romantic interest. This isn't guesswork, it's communication psychology. Researchers have identified consistent linguistic markers people use when they're interested. No single phrase is a guarantee, but if you're hearing multiple patterns repeatedly, you're not imagining things. She's communicating. You're just not fluent yet. Either you learn this language, or you keep watching opportunities slip away. You're not like other guys. When she regularly compares you to other men, and you're winning those comparisons, that's active evaluation, not chit-chat. Her brain is categorizing. Everyone else goes in the didn't work out pile. You're in the actually interesting category. This is selective comparison, where someone evaluates potential partners against alternatives. She's signaling you stand out from the crowd, and friends don't operate this way. When someone keeps highlighting what makes you different, they're assessing you as a potential partner. I don't usually tell anyone this, but that's a closeness test, not casual conversation. She's revealing private information that requires courage, essentially handing you potential ammunition. Most people only do this with those they consider emotionally safe and significant. This is self-disclosure, directly correlated with intimacy levels. The more personal information someone shares, the more they trust you. If she's choosing you for these vulnerable moments, that boundary between person I hang out with and person I actually trust is being deliberately crossed. What kind of girls do you like? That's strategic reconnaissance, not idle curiosity. She's gathering intel. Do I even have a chance here? Would I fit what you're looking for? Before people risk showing real interest, they reduce potential rejection by testing the terrain. This is compatibility assessment, checking whether investing emotional energy makes sense before putting herself out there. If she's asking, she's mentally placing herself in the potential option category, because otherwise your preferences would be irrelevant to her. We should totally do this together sometime. Watch the language carefully. She's not saying, you should try that, or I might do that. She's saying, we should, framing you two as a unit. That's a linguistic marker of connection. She's creating a mental image of shared experiences ahead. When someone's interested, they instinctively extend the interaction beyond the present moment, setting up continued contact. If she's repeatedly suggesting future activities and inventing reasons to see you, she's engineering more opportunities to test compatibility and deepen the connection. I was just thinking about you. That's about as direct as it gets without saying, I like you outright. People think about those who occupy emotional space in their lives. When she tells you this, you're present in her mind even when you're physically apart. Research shows romantic interest generates intrusive thoughts. Your brain keeps circling back because dopamine gets released every time. When she verbalizes these thoughts, she's confessing you occupy mental real estate, and people don't share that unless they're hoping for reciprocal feeling. Wish you were here. That's absence acknowledgement. Not missing human company in general, but missing you specifically. It's emotional dependency. When someone becomes important, their absence registers as a loss. If she's voicing this, you're already integrated into her emotional landscape. Friends might say, "We should hang out soon," or "It's been a while." But "wish you were here" puts the focus entirely on your specific presence. That's a romantic indicator because it demonstrates attachment. She's actively noticing and disliking when you're not around. "You always look great." This is physical attraction signaling, not generic kindness. Women are careful about complimenting men's appearance because they know it reads as flirting. So if she's doing it anyway, she's ready for that interpretation, or actively wants it. She's communicating. "I notice how you present yourself. I pay attention to your appearance, and I like what I see." Physical attraction is foundational to romantic interest, and this is one of the clearest ways to signal it. When she comments on how you look, she's saying she's looking at you as more than a friend. "When are we seeing each other again?" Notice she's not waiting for you to suggest it. She's taking organizational responsibility because she doesn't want the connection fading. This is proximity-seeking behavior. Someone interested doesn't passively hope things develop. They actively create opportunities. Friendly relationships are relaxed about timing. "Yeah, we should catch up sometime." But when there's specific interest, it's when exactly, where, doing what. If she's consistently asking about next steps, she's investing in whatever's developing between you two. "Why don't you have anyone?" This is status reconnaissance, not philosophical curiosity. She's checking. Are you available? Are you emotionally unavailable? Are you even open to a relationship right now? This question accomplishes multiple objectives, confirms your single status, communicates she's noticed your relationship situation, and implies your availability matters to her. If you were irrelevant romantically, your relationship status would be none of her concern. The fact she's asking means she's considering herself as a potential option and needs to know if the path is clear. Your future wife is going to be so lucky. On the surface, it's a compliment about your qualities as a partner. But look deeper. She's planting an image, creating a mental picture of you with a future partner, and subtly suggesting she could be that person. This is an implicit message. She's not stating, "I want to be with you" directly, because that's too risky. Instead, she's constructing the sentence so your brain makes that connection on its own. It's indirect enough to maintain plausible deniability while being clear enough to communicate interest. If you're hearing this, she's already imagined being with you and decided it's appealing. So what do you actually do with all this? Here's your action plan, and you better pay attention because the longer you ignore these signals, the faster this opportunity evaporates. 1. Stop waiting for a neon sign. Human beings don't communicate that way, especially when rejection is on the line. If you're consistently hearing several of these patterns, stop dismissing them. Analyze context. Is she saying these things only to you? Is this a repeated pattern or isolated incidents? Consistency reveals intention, and if you keep pretending you don't see it, she'll assume you're not interested and move on. 2. Test the hypothesis through action, not more analysis. Make a move. Suggest a specific plan. Return the compliments. Escalate slightly and observe her response. If she leans in and reciprocates, you've got your answer. If she creates distance, you've misread it, and that's fine. At least you know instead of spending another 3 months stuck in limbo. 3. Get comfortable being direct, even though it's uncomfortable. Yeah, rejection is possible, and it stings. But playing the guessing game indefinitely while she gets tired of waiting is worse. Try this. I feel like there's something here beyond friendship. Am I reading that right? Straightforward beats ambiguous every time. 4. Understand that interest doesn't equal immediate readiness, and don't confuse the two. She might be attracted and still need time to sort out her feelings. She might have legitimate reasons for hesitation that have nothing to do with you. Your job isn't to pressure or demand. It's to understand whether mutual interest exists and then respect whatever pace makes sense. 5. Respect her boundaries religiously, without resentment. If she's sending signals but pulling back from action, she's not ready yet, and that's her right. Don't guilt, don't push, don't turn it into a debate. Accept the information and decide whether waiting works for you or if moving on makes more sense. Here's the bottom line. If you're hearing 3 or more of these patterns regularly, and you're still questioning whether she's interested, the communication problem isn't on her end. She's done her part. The signals are there. What you do with that information is entirely up to you. Just don't be shocked when the opportunity disappears while you're still figuring it out. And don't come back later wondering why she's with someone else who actually knew how to read the signs.